Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
Beautiful night for baseball here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and the Cardinals looking for a sweep against the Houston Astros. This view shows us 40,000 plus. They have gathered in attendance tonight. Another sold-out crowd expected. The viewpoint of Shelby Miller as he looks for win number 10 tonight. And the Cardinals love the view from atop the NL Central Division. Welcome to the broadcast booth. That's Al Rabowski, the Mad Hungarian. I'm Dan McLaughlin. The Cardinals a chance with a win tonight to have a perfect homestand, albeit a small homestand with just the 3 games with the Marlins, 2 against Houston, but yet a chance to go 5-0.
And very important to go 21 games over 500. Right now they're 10 games over at home, 10 games over on the road. Let's just keep this winning streak going.
And when we come back, it's a pair of very young right-handers squaring off in this ball game tonight. Shelby Miller, Jordan Lyles. Baseball comes your way next. Wins before the break. Last time to have that happen was in 2005. It was Chris Carpenter, Matt Morris, and Mark Mulder. A win tonight by Shelby Miller, and this group will join that group on your screen.
And Shelby, his first career start against his hometown, Houston, the way he's pitching right now, look for that 10th victory under his belt.
Shelby Miller and the Cardinals taking on the Astros tonight. game. The highest TV ratings can be found right here in the Gateway City. A reminder, the All-Star Game on Fox, July 16th. That's at 6:30 Central Time. Again, July 16th. And the Cardinals will be well represented for the All-Star Game. Adam Wainwright, a win last night. He now has 12. He'll make his final start of the first half Sunday night, and he could have 13 before the All-Star break. Carlos Beltran. What might those emotions be like for him? Heading back to Gotham and Citi Field. Carlos Beltran, remarkable season at 309, 19 home runs, 52 RBIs, still getting it done in the outfield for St. Louis. Yadier Molina, you can make a case that he is the best all-around player in baseball. Noted for years because of his glove as being one of the best, it's now his bat that commands attention. He is leading the league in hitting. Yadier Molina batting .344 and probably on his way to another Gold Glove. First-time All-Star Matt Carpenter. When the Cardinals offense took off, it was when he was inserted into the top spot in the lineup for St. Louis. 35 multi-hit games. That's tops in the National League. Also tops in doubles. He has 27 this season. And a guy that has been Mr. Consistency when the game is on the line or runners in scoring position. It's number 21 of the Cardinals, Allen Craig. .488 average with runners in scoring position. He is second right now in the National League to Paul Goldschmidt for RBIs. He has 71. What a year it's been for the Cardinal outfielder slash first baseman. It leads us to our AT&T Twitter poll. You, the fans, can decide which one of these five will go into the All-Star Game. It's part of the fan vote, which will close tomorrow night. However, with our AT&T Twitter poll, we're curious as to which one you think is going to win it. Ian Desmond, Freddie Freeman, Adrian Gonzalez, Hunter Pence, or Yasiel Puig of the Dodgers. And we'll have those results coming up later in our telecast. Seems to be a three-team race in the NL Central. We'll take a look at that when we come back. Baseball is coming up. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. At the wall. Goodbye. Beltran takes him deep. And this ball is gone. Brandon Phillips. And this is trouble. And Neil Walker hits a two-run homer. Oh, what a pick. Outstanding catch. Oh, what a play. Diving for the bag and got it. Relay to the plate. Safe. Got him. Swing and a miss. One of the most dominating pitching performances ever.
And all kinds of smiles for Cincinnati.
That is gone. The Pirates' fourth home run of the day. Cincinnati holds on for the victory. The Pirates take 2 of 3. Cardinals have a sweep. Well, the Cardinals trying to make it 5 in a row here tonight. These are the updated standings. Pittsburgh a game and a half back of St. Louis. Cincinnati wins today over Milwaukee. Mike Leake, his 8th win of the season, 4 hits, 4 runs in 8 1/3. It looks like a 3-team race in the Central. The second half should be a lot of fun. First pitch comes your way next. By Bud Light, music first. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer or log on to stlchevy.com. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, just no equal. Just moments ago, the Cardinals All-Stars receiving their jerseys. And after Sunday night, that group heads to New York City. All-Star game will be Tuesday night on Fox. Let's turn to tonight's keys to the game, a presentation of Toyota.
Well, this 22-year-old right-hander, we're talking about Lyles. He's got a sinking fastball, 5th best ground ball pitcher in the American League. So you want to get him up in the zone. You also got to be careful not pounding his curveball in the zone. They say that he's either going to have the curveball or the slider working tonight. You just never knows which one.
And it's the Kia starter for St. Louis, coming off a win against the Angels last time out. And that is Shelby Miller, still one of the top ERAs in baseball, and trying to pick up win number 10 this evening.
Got a couple 22-year-olds going out there, but Shelby had a brief time at the big league level last year, looking for his 10th win. He'd be the 3rd Cardinal starter with 10 wins before the All-Star break.
Jake Elmore leading things off and takes a ball up and in. Pitch at 95 miles an hour. Elmore this season hitting .205.
Remember, Elmore came into the game late last night was 2 for 2.
Yeah, that's right. And he's a guy that was claimed off of waivers from Arizona, and actually a teammate of Brett Wallace's at Arizona State. And there's the first strike. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And then for Ronnie Cedeno, who has a contusion on his big toe, so Jake gets a little more playing time. There you see Brett Wallace, collegiate teammate.
Shelby Miller really established the fastball in his last start. Those 2 starts ago, his shortest outing of his career. Couldn't get through the second inning at Oakland. And there's a strike. Late call by Laz Diaz, our home plate umpire.
Pitching with an extra day of rest as they flip-flop Wainwright and Miller. That should only help Shelby.
You wonder what it may do to his fastball. That extra day's rest, and that misses down and in. Leadoff walk, not the way the Cardinals want to start. As a team, Houston is hitting .235. That's last in the American League. They also have recorded the most strikeouts within their lineup. Elmore, Altuve, and Castro, their lone rep for the All-Star game. Then Carter, Wallace, Martinez, Barnes, Dominguez, and Jordan Lyles. Hitless this season is Lyles.
Jose Altuve, last season, represented the National League in the All-Star. This year, it'll be Jason Castro, the first Astro to be an American League All-Star.
And there's a ground ball. Could be 2. Out at second. Double play for the Cardinals. Freeze. Carpenter over to big old Matt Adams, who gets the start at first base. Cardinals have committed the fewest errors in baseball with 38. It's Holiday, Jay, and Craig in the outfield as we highlight Alan Craig. The All-Star selection. Freeze, Descalso, Carpenter, Adams along the infield. And it's another start for Tony Cruz. The 5-4-3 double play, and it brings in Castro, who was hitless last night, 0 for 3. And he seems to be a player that Houston can build around. Very good defensive player. 10th overall selection out of Stanford back in 2008. There's that fastball at 95 from Shelby Miller.
Castro really is becoming an offensive player. Got 23 doubles. He's the only major league player with 6 multi-double games this season. Also ranks #1 in slugging amongst American League catchers. Tied for first extra base hits. Tied for second in home runs. Third in OPS. So he really deserves to be on that American League All-Star team.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. A little bit low at 96. So Al, analyze why an extra day's rest could be good or even maybe bad for a guy like Shelby Miller. Young pitcher, throws hard.
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22. He's going to have a little more oomph probably on his fastball, but will he have the command being 1 extra day's rest?
Catch made by John Jay. The 5-4-3 double play and the flyout off the bat of Jason Castro. is Matt Carpenter. Then John Jay and Matt Holliday here in the first. Alan Craig bats cleanup, followed by Adams. Pretty good 1-2 punch there. Then David Freese, Descalso, Cruz, and the pitcher Shelby Miller, who does own an RBI and home run. Astros defense will highlight their all-star selection. Jason Castro, and remember that game will be seen next Tuesday exclusively on Fox. Cardinals with 15 hits last night. They'll take on the 22-year-old Jordan Lyles.
And, you know, it's a little amazing that Jordan Lyles has never pitched against the Cardinals. He made his major league debut back on May 31st, 2011. Last 2 years, he had 45 starts, but none against the Cardinals. He was the second youngest pitcher to make his debut for the Astros. Of course, Larry Dierker is the youngest. He was only 18 when he made his major league debut back in '64.
Matt Carpenter takes a strike. That's one way to get on TV. And the 0-1 pitch to Carpenter. 88 miles an hour, misses in. Matt is fourth overall in hitting at .322. 8 home runs. He's driven in 40. He was 3 for 4 last night and scored 3 runs. He now has 69 runs scored, and that's tied atop all of Major League Baseball with Miguel Cabrera.
The on-base percentage there, a few points under 400. He's done everything.
Slowly hit to the right side, and Lyles, making sure it doesn't roll foul, cuts in front of Wallace and makes the play.
Lyles had a good stretch where he had 7 consecutive solid starts that ended on June 18th. During that time, he was 3-0 with a 1.61 ERA, but of late he's been struggling a little bit. So hopefully the Cardinals will catch him on an off night.
Doesn't strike out many. As a matter of fact, just 7 Ks over his last 3 starts. And here is John Jay. And what do we know about the repertoire of Jordan Lyles? Is Jay is ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes.
He has the 4 basic pitches. You know, the fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. As I said, he was the 5th best in the American League in getting ground ball outs. So far, a good start for him.
It's a good start for Holliday and the Cardinals in the first inning last night with a 2-run homer off of Bud Norris. It's now back-to-back games for Holliday with a home run. That was his 3rd career homer off of Norris. The Cardinals, I think we all get concerned when we hear about Bud Norris pitching against St. Louis, but the Cardinals actually handled him pretty well with 11 hits last night.
Yeah, I think the reputation grew from about his first 4 or 5 times facing the Cardinals, but now 15 starts into his career against the Redbirds, they've kind of turned the tables on him. That's what you worry about here with Lyles. So a lot of times, the first time the Cardinals face a young pitcher, they seem to have their struggles.
Supplemental pick, 38th overall in 2008. That was for the signing of Trevor Miller, former lefty that pitched a number of years in the big leagues. 2 balls and no strikes.
Now you saw him try to throw that curveball, and they say that he really doesn't know which one of his curveball or slider is going to be his dominant pitch. He'll kind of have to find that out. Some people say that, you know, his fastball is very straight, but then it doesn't really, it sounds like a sinker with all the ground balls. But the one thing they say is he can get in a little command problems, and many times he's pitching behind in the count.
The 3-1 pitch, and Holliday hits it out of play. I'm sure many of our Fans notice that Yadier Molina is not in the lineup. And this is following up what Mike Matheny said yesterday. We're going to try to give him more off days, especially in the second half and maybe through this weekend. But this is a scheduled off day for him. Trying to catch a little bit of rest anytime they can with Yadi.
Well, and I think it's going to be the same with Beltran. Trying to keep him fresh all season long. Yeah, like Matt Holliday, who likes to play every day. It looked like Castro got a piece of dirt flew up into his eye. Young catcher.
7 innings last night for Yadier Molina. Cardinals built up a sizable lead at 9-1 and eventually turned into a save situation for Edward Mujica. Three-2. Hits slowly to short, and they get Holliday by a step. Cardinals go 1-2-3. 3 ground ball outs. No score after 1 here at Busch Stadium. And that'll be exclusively on Fox. 5 Cardinals in the All-Star game, and right from the start, most All-Star starts since 1970. We say that because that's when fan voting was brought back in. So Yadi, the 3 starts to go along with McGuire and Rowland. Pujols had 5, and the Wizard with 12. It's interesting to think about the voting that's been done over the years for the All-Star game. This is well hit into right field, and that ball is off the top of the wall. Played perfectly by Beltran.
They're calling it a home run.
And they're going to say it's a home run. So Carter will circle the bases. Just a rocket shot opposite way. Beltran, or rather Craig, very casual in right field, trying to play that off the top of the wall. And it hit the sign right behind that wall. So it's a home run for Chris Carter, and that's his 18th of the year.
And
he's got some pop.
10th home run that Miller allows, and you can see clearly it was above the State Farm sign. That's a separation. That Ice Mountain is back about 3 feet. So if it goes to first sign, it's a home run.
That drops in for a base hit. Off the bat of Brett Wallace as John Jay initially froze, then came in. It was too late, and a single for Wallace. First 2 have reached here in the second. And it brings in the right fielder, J.D. Martinez. 1947, you had fan voting. And then in 1957, the Reds apparently had their fans stuff that ballot box. So then the commissioner stepped in, took the fan voting away until 1970. It was reintroduced to the fans, and that's what we have now. Shelby Miller very good here at home. ERA is under 2 and trying to pick up his 6th win here at Busch Stadium.
Seems like all the Cardinals starters are so much better at home than on the road. That's some very impressive ERAs at home by the starters.
Final start of the first half for Shelby. We head to Chicago. 4 games beginning tomorrow.
And they haven't decided who is going to start the first game after the All-Star break, but Shelby will probably push back. There's a breaking ball. And doesn't get the call.
Chevy Fox tracks, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Martinez, who was 1 for 5 with an RBI last night. Cardinals have already turned a double play. 2-2. Astros have had high hopes for Martinez. He was their 2010 minor league player of the year. Swinging a hot bat coming into play tonight. Big gap in left center. And from 0-2 to 3-2. Shelby just a little bit off right now.
Yeah, and I think that'll find it. That just a little bit with the extra day seems funny, but some people respond better to it. Others have problems with it. And I think he'll settle in.
That misses, and the second walk issued by Miller as he looks back into the home plate umpire. He's not missed by much. First 3 have reached here in the top of the second. Brings in Brandon Barnes.
Shelby only walked 24 in his first 102/3 innings, 25 during that time. Got over 100 strikeouts.
So 26 walks now. Over 100 innings pitched. And the home run he allowed was his 10th. And that's tops on the team.
Done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark.
Cardinals as a whole have been the best in the National League at doing that.
As Diaz looks like may have a very tight strike zone today. Like a pretty good pitch. So they got 1 double play in the first. Be a perfect time to get a second.
9th year for Barnes in the Astros organization. 6th round pick back in 2005. Getting a chance to play as the Astros rebuild. And it's 2-0. Derek Lilliquist and Tony Cruz now call time. They want to talk things over and try to settle down Shelby Miller, who admitted mechanically 3 starts ago he was out of whack, and I wonder if Lilliquist is sensing something there. Also, in addition to seeing a tight strike zone, just trying to calm down his 22-year-old starter tonight.
You feel some guys will feel overly strong, others feel sluggish.
Another factor is Yachty not behind the plate, and that comfort level that you have with Molina.
Sure. Players enjoy pitching to Tony Cruz.
Little jam shot to the right side. Adams has to get back to the bag. Runners advance to second and third, and there's one away.
Wasn't hit hard enough for Carpenter to do anything other than what he did. Just get the out in front of him.
One of the things that Jeff Luhnow did when he became the GM of Houston, made a number of deals and got players that had big names, high draft choices that other teams had given up on. This is one of them. Matt Dominguez, who was the 12th overall pick in 2007 by the Marlins. And he came over to Houston in the Carlos Lee deal. And Lee, since that time, has retired. Runners at second and third with one down. And that's it out of play. Really minimize the damage here. 8th place hitter Jordan Lyles, the pitcher, on deck. We know that Shelby is quite capable of racking up those strikeouts.
Dominguez has been a pretty good RBI man, even when he's hitting in the 8th spot in the order. 37 RBIs in the 8th spot in the Astros order, which is most among major league players.
Ground ball, and it's taken by Carpenter off his glove. Everybody's safe. And a 2-run lead for Houston here in the top of the second.
Carpenter in a little fielding slump right now, but maybe just the fact that tired and concentration a little bit.
Plaza Tire Service replay as Carpenter couldn't come up with it. Extends the inning to Jordan Lyles, who'll visit with the third base coach, and a 2-run lead for Houston.
Not scored that yet, but I think Matt Carpenter would be the first one to tell you he should have made that play.
And it's ruled an error. So an RBI for Dominguez and E4 on the play. For Carpenter, that's error number 11. Long look by Miller. Lyles squares. Gets the bunt down, and a play at the plate. Adams to Cruz, and they got him. That play seemed to take forever to develop. Obviously a poor decision by Martinez. Runs himself right into an out.
Going on contact, but the bunt was a little bit hard. Adams gets to it, and then he is able to throw the ball with a little bit of force right to Tony Cruz. He gets it enough time to where he can apply that tag as he tries to go around him, and he never gets to the plate. Tags it with his hand, but after obviously Tony tagged him out. Very good camera work right there. Plaza Tire and our crew.
Top of the lineup, and Jake Elmore. So 3-2 on that play. Elmore walked to start the game and then erased on a 5-4-3 double play. Outfield is very shallow, and a breaking ball misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Shelby, 22 years of age, 6'3", 215 pounds. First start ever against Houston. He did have a relief appearance last September against the Astros. Two and one.
It's the first time we've seen a low strike called.
You wonder how aggressive the Houston will try to be early in counts with Shelby Miller. If he gets you at 0-2, he's got 27 strikeouts, 0.74 average against him. On 1 and 2, it's a 157 average. So he gets 2 strikes on you more times than not. He is putting you away. 2 and 2 here. Right-handers have had fits against Miller this year, hitting just 186 against him. Lefties much better at 261. Not only is Shelby fighting with the home plate umpire in the strike zone, he's also fighting himself, it looks like, at times too.
Yeah, they're trying to overthrow a pitch, and when you do that, you lose command and location, but it really straightens out. You don't throw it nearly as hard as when you just relax and let it just jump out of your hand.
Only Harvey and Burnett per 9 innings better in that strikeout total, and it's another walk. So 3 walks in this ball game issued by Shelby Miller, 2 in this inning alone.
See that ball just really run on him.
Brings in Altuve with the bases loaded. He is listed at 5'5", 170 pounds.
I told you because of his height, they've come up with a new statistic that you measure home runs by his height.
Well, I know how you love to dive into sabermetrics, so yeah, I'm sure you know this too.
This is what it is, OSLA. Official standard listed Altuve. Home run measured 400 feet would be 73.8 Altuves. How about that? Take that, sabermetrics.
I'll stick with sabermetrics. There's a strike on the outside corner. Nothing at 2.
Obviously trying to find the strike zone as much as Shelby's trying to find it. So is our home plate umpire. As Whitey said one time about umpires, a good thing they only have 2 choices.
Here's the 0-2 pitch on its way. Altuve with a fly ball into right. Craig is there and puts it away. The Astros pick up the first 2 runs of the ball game tonight. Major professional sports. Bo Porter, will see him tonight with Houston. 41 years in 5 days. Dennis Allen of the Raiders. Mike Yo of the Minnesota Wild. And recently hired Brad Stevens out of Butler, working for Danny Ainge and the Celtics in Boston. Rebuilding project for them. Bo Porter said that he knew that this was going to be a very tough situation. Rebuilding project. Had to get out in the community, talk to the fans, try to re-engage that fan base to come out and support them. And they're on record as saying, look, we're in the middle of a rebuilding project that's going to take 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, it sounds like he's getting some very positive reviews.
And here is Alan Craig.
Still trying to figure out how he convinced the umpires that one time that he could change pitchers when they changed pinch hitters.
You know, that was the same crew that we had over the weekend.
Really?
That had the issues in Houston, and they had their issues in the ball games against Miami. Alan Craig was 3 for 5 last night. The last to have 70 or more RBIs for the Cardinals before the All-Star break was Albert Pujols. He had 76 in 2006, and Allen is just 5 away from that. He's had a remarkable season.
Do you know what the all-time record is for the All-Star break?
I'm waiting.
When you start getting in the 70s, you know, that's pretty significant.
That's tapped foul. So next up on that list, McGuire from 1999. That was the year that he hit 65 home runs, and that's what makes this run all the more remarkable for Craig. He has, I say, just 10 home runs, but if you've got 71 RBIs, you're thinking more than just 10 home runs.
And Dick Allen in 1970, he hit about 30 home runs, and he missed the last month of the season with a shoulder injury. Jablonski.
Two pitch. Would it shock you if I told you that Alan Craig on a 3-0 count has no RBIs this year? A hitter's count 3-1, no RBIs this year. I find that amazing.
It wouldn't shock me because you already told me that. But
all right, Al. I'm just asking you to play along.
It was shocking then.
Yeah. Go read your Altuve meter or whatever it is. That's taken low and away, and a walk to Craig. Jim, you have it from here until the 6th. What do you got?
Chris Carpenter threw a simulated game today. Went well enough that a short time later, Mike Matheny announced that Carpenter would start a rehab assignment on Monday at AA Springfield. Carpenter threw 3 innings to several teammates, including Shane Robinson, who had faced Carpenter in 2 other simulated games. And Robinson says Carpenter's fastball was 5 to 6 miles per hour faster. Says the cutter was virtually unhittable. He was very impressed. The fastball by Carpenter registering in the low 90s, which is pretty good. So Chris Carpenter about to start another chapter on Monday in his comeback, guys.
Jim, hold on just a second as Adams looks at a ball scoot away, and Craig will move up. At this point, have the Cardinals identified the role of Chris Carpenter if it comes to fruition that he makes it back to the big leagues?
Well, Chris Carpenter before had been very careful about not saying it was definitely as a starter out of the bullpen. Today he was speaking as joining the rotation at some point, but wanting to make sure, as well as the organization, wanting to make sure that he was healthy enough and good enough for the long haul, but definitely it seems as a starter, Dan.
Interesting.
Well, the first thing you got to do is you're going to train as a starter. But I would have to think with all the young power arms.
Adams base hit. Cardinals get on the board. The shortstop Elmore heading towards the bag at second. A little bit out of position. And the ball just jumps off that bat. And Matt Adams with RBI number 25.
Jake. Elmore was going towards the bag. Look where he is anyway. He's really shadowing. So he's up the middle. And then he hits it through the vacated shortstop area. Normal positioning. And we've seen that with these Astros will do a lot of shifting with a left-handed batter up there, especially a power guy like Matt Adams. So he spoils the chart. But then I think right now when you're worrying about some of the innings piling up for some of the starters with all the power arms that you have down there, it makes most sense for Chris Carpenter to think that he would come back and join the rotation. But he's right now at the beginning stages of spring training.
Fly ball near the line and right, foul territory, and the catch is made by J.D. Martinez. I would say he's got to be past that point, don't you?
But I mean, you know, he's going to take probably 30 days in minor leagues. He's going to make at least 4 starts. Well, put it this way, he should. Last year he knew that it didn't work for him not making any minor league starts. So he's even admitted that I know I have to do that.
Here is Daniel Descalso, hitting .293 when he starts, and he gets another start at shortstop tonight. Takes a pitch in the dirt. Daniel, 2 hits last night as he went 2 for 4, and he's one that does have gaudy numbers against Bud Norris. Now 8 for 21 after game 1 of this series.
Daniel hit .368 in May, .333 in June. You mentioned .293 when he starts. He's already got 6 3-hit games.
One ball, 1 strike on Descalso. Ground ball sharply hit to second. Altuve to Elmore and a double play. 4-6-3. Cardinals get on the board. Adams the RBI, number 25. Neighborhood hometown grocer. Go big at a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger. And by 5-Hour Energy Shots. We have had just some amazing crowds. It's a sold-out crowd, we understand, tonight. The Cardinals, and this is up to date after last night, are second best in average attendance. Right now, the average attendance, 41,868. They trail only the LA Dodgers. Think about that.
That's
5
incredible.
consecutive sellouts against Miami and Houston.
What do you have? 10 million people in the Los Angeles metropolitan area, and you have 2.5 million here in St. Louis. Remarkable of St. Louis attendance is how many people live 50 miles and beyond. Not only season ticket holders, but just frequent visitors here. They come in, they'll see a game, go home, go to work, turn around and make that drive the next night to come back to see Cardinal baseball. And the weekends, it's a bonanza for all the downtown hotels and restaurants.
3-1 the count on Jason Castro. Castro here. Dave Carter, who is homered, and Brett Wallace, who singled and scored last inning. It's roughly 65 to 70% on the weekends come from out of market. And the next weekend we'll have is against San Diego, and that's the Hall of Fame weekend here at the ballpark. Great giveaways.
Promotions, no reason not to think they won't be sellouts again. So get your tickets early.
Chased a ball and a strikeout. First of the night for Shelby Miller.
Pitching behind the count, and still really not locating well. That was supposed to be inside, but he gets him to chase the ball up and away outside the strike zone.
To make a case, statistically, Shelby Miller is off to the 6th best start in franchise history through your first 18 major league starts. His ERA, very good, as we've noted. The best in 18 starts happened in the 1940s. That was 2.10. Al Brazel.
And of course, we want to keep an eye on Shelby. We figured out just over 150 innings. Most he's ever thrown, and that was a year ago.
The breaking ball misses low to the big man, Chris Carter.
You know, Carter hit a home run his first time up. Don't be afraid to challenge him. Got a lot of strikeouts in that at bat.
120 coming in. So walk number 4 for Shelby Miller. Brings in Brett Wallace that Friday night against San Diego. It's the Ozzie bobblehead, July 19th. Also, you'll have the chance to take home the 1940 Red Shandy's jersey on Saturday. Stan the Man replica statue on Sunday. That's all coming up when we get back after the break. Brett Wallace with a single to center. Both clubs have turned a double play tonight. The Cardinals back in the first off the bat of Altuve.
Brett just got off to that horrible start, and just almost every at bat was a strikeout. Went down the minor leagues, hit very well, and this time coming back, he's hit much better.
Struck out 17 of his first 24 at bats, but when he went down, he did hit, and they're in a position now with Houston. Not to say it's on the same level, but asking the same question: what else can he do to prove himself in the minor leagues to become an everyday major league player? 59 games at AAA, hit .326, 11 home runs, drove in 37.
And he hit over 300 against both lefties and righties.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Wallace was 1 for 5 with a double last night. Reds over Milwaukee earlier today, 6-2. So as we speak, Cincinnati 4.5 games out. Mike Leake 8 1/3 in that game.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and the Oakland A's are in a rain delay.
Shocking.
It's Pittsburgh.
1-2 pitch. On the air tomorrow at 6:30. Not the ratio that Shelby would like to have. 48 pitches. 24-24. Westbrook and Edwin Jackson. Cardinals got to Jackson last time he started against St. Louis here at Busch Stadium. Here's a ground ball right side and a base hit. Sneaks through. And Chris Carter on his way to third. Wallace is 2 for 2, and it brings in J.D. Martinez. Martinez walked back in the second inning.
Carter's a big guy, but he knows this ball goes through. He's going to be able to go to third. Double play in order.
Nothing in 2.
That's what.
Shelby Miller looking for strikeout number 2. Again on an 0-2 count 53 times this year. 0.74 average against Shelby. Will that continue? It does, and that's the 28th strikeout on that count. 2 away.
Shelby's got the good a 4-seam fastball that explodes up in the zone. It's still important to have him throw the 2-seamer and also to throw his breaking ball down, change that eye angle, and then you throw that 4-seamer, they chase it.
Here's Brandon Barnes, grounded out to second. 0 for 1 tonight. Outfield is shallow, big gap in left center. Strike 1. Six innings of work last time out for Miller. Prior to that, inning and 2/3, and now you mix in the extra day's rest. Certainly should be ready to roll here tonight. Gave up 5 hits in those 6 innings, a 12-2 win against the Angels. There's a 2-run homer to account for the scoring against him. Right now, the Cardinals just concerned about getting him through 5 tonight. Pitch count already at 53.
Handle the breaking ball. A little bit of a break today from the humidity, the early rain we had.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Barnes. Even just watching the pace right now with Shelby Miller. Again, he's been primarily working with runners on base, but very slow, very deliberate.
At times when someone is having trouble throwing strikes like this, it's a matter of concentration.
And he couldn't hold up his swing, and a strikeout. 3 in the inning, 3 in the game. Carpenter, charter high-speed pitch. And Shelby Miller has hit 97 tonight, and Jordan Lyles 94. Lyles has given up a base hit and an RBI. A walk and a run scored. That was last inning. 2-1 Astros. 10th start of the year for Tony Cruz. And he'll lead it off for St. Louis. Shelby Miller pitching out of a jam with runners at the corners and only one out. Back-to-back Ks.
Tony's started 3 of the last 4 games, so hopefully hit the ball, get his timing.
Concern for Houston right now, missed opportunities. They have stranded 5 in this game. Cardinals as a team come in first in average, RBIs, and the all-important on-base percentage in the National League.
And I would also think that if Tony Cruz is, or excuse me, Shelby Miller, I think he'll get things ironed out from now. You know, he's kind of wore himself down, so now find that strike zone and be a little more efficient.
Here's a ground ball slowly hit to the right side, and there's one away. 6 ground ball outs. Cardinals at the start of play tonight. 3 in their lineup in the top 6 in average in all of baseball. Miguel Cabrera leading everyone at 363. Carpenter, Craig, Molina also all in the top 6. As Shelby Miller digs in for the first time, 1 out, nobody on, and there's a look at the Cardinal leadoff man. What a difference he's made for this lineup.
Things kind of fell in place, didn't they? Once Carpenter moved to the leadoff spot. It's going to look great seeing all 5 of them representing the Cardinals. The All-Star game Tuesday night, huh?
Tuesday night on Fox. Shelby Miller at the plate, 56 pitches thrown already through 3 innings. Ground ball hit to short. The Houston native is thrown out by Jake Elmore, and there's 2 away. Barnes Jewish Hospital, the difference makers, presented by BJC. All 6 see pictured right there, headed to the All-Star game. Again, that'll be seen Tuesday night on Fox. Yachty leading the National League. Michael Kadire had the long, nearly 30-game hit streak. And here's Carpenter. 66th time for Matt Carpenter batting leadoff, and he's reached in 59 of the previous 65 in this spot. So he really truly has been a table setter.
The thing about him as a leadoff hitter, you know, he works the counts, not afraid to hit down. Very good with 2 strikes on him.
Looking at the stats today, doing some research, taking it as far as 150 at bats for anybody in a leadoff spot. Matt Carpenter leading all of baseball in average, 331 from this spot, also 4th in on-base percentage. Such an important stat when you think about that overall, but certainly with the leadoff man just trying to get on base, and a table setter for the big bats the Cardinals have for John Mabry in his lineup. And a ground ball that's pulled foul. Chris Maloney showing off the hands.
Either that or he couldn't get out of the way of it.
Two and two the count.
Maloney by way of Mississippi State. Battles it to a full count. Why is it the Cardinals just struggle against pitchers the first time they see them, especially if they're soft tossing left-handers?
3-2 pitch. Carpenter hits it sharply, but backhanded by Altuve. Still a long ways to go, though, Matt Hungarian, in this ball game. Let's hope it changes. 2-1. Houston on top. Bash and signing first 200 people in the Budweiser Bash line will be Jaime Garcia. For more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions. Name we have not mentioned all that much of. Shut down for the remainder of this season, but everyone believes he'll be back next year, and a plethora of young pitching coming up. Carlos Martinez, Michael Wacha. That pitch is taken inside by Matt Dominguez. Shelby Miller leading the way. And a strike to the 8th place hitter. Picked up an RBI as he grounded out what would have been sharply to second. Instead, it turned into an error by Carpenter. So E4 and an RBI on the play. Basically, we're watching Shelby Miller throw fastball after fastball, and I hear you talk about it a lot, Al. It's fastball command, and he's struggling with it right now.
Yeah, a lot of times I've seen the ball just run in on a right-handed batter. I don't remember it doing that much movement.
Oof. 2-2.
There's a fastball that just has no idea where it's going.
Frustrating night, clearly, watching Shelby Miller here. 3-2. Leadoff man here in the top of the 4th as Miller steps away. Dominguez, Jordan Lyles, the pitcher on deck, and then we'll see Jake Elmore. The 3-2, and he walked him. It's now 5 walks issued by Shelby Miller. New mobile game on MLB.com. And it features 3 competitors of the last 3 seasons. It's the Home Run Derby app. Swing for the fences. Available now on iPhone and iPad.
Speaking of home runs in the All-Star game, I talked to Red Chandies a little while ago, and he said this is the 53rd anniversary of when he hit his home run in the 14th inning to win the All-Star game. I believe it was out in Anaheim.
Career high in walks, and Shelby is at 3 innings right now.
You know, he came in the first 100 innings that he had just 24 walks. There you see the redhead, 90 years of age. And Dan, we were talking about the, that he had played his final game earlier this month, and you were wondering
the anniversary of that.
The anniversary of it, and yeah, exactly the anniversary being 90, and you were kind of wondering about. Hey, it wasn't at the end of the season, with an illustrious playing career, a Hall of Famer. He said he was 0 for 5. Remember I told you it's a business? He said he was 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter. They got it. He was gone.
Talked with his daughter the other day, and Red, even if he's not feeling 100%, isn't going to tell everybody about that. He's very tight-lipped about it, but that's pretty much the reaction of everyone right now watching this. But his daughter was saying that feels great, and watch him in the motorcade on opening day. He just hops right off the trucks. That's the amazing thing to me. We see some current players kind of ease their way out of the truck, and then there's Red Chandies at the age of 90 just hopping out of the truck.
They still say Red is one of the best shooters, as he loves in the wintertime. He'll go duck hunting every day, and still one of the best shooters around. And they said, if you blink, he's gonna take his shot and yours.
1-2 the count here on Jordan Lyles. Strikeout for Miller, number 4. Could not get the bunt down. So 1 away, and the top of the lineup in Jake Elmore. Pair of walks tonight. A 2-1 Houston lead as Cruz sets up outside. They pitch out, and Dominguez going nowhere. 5 walks tonight, you pitch out.
And that one right there, I mean, I don't know if you can afford to do that with somebody who's not throwing
That's my point.
Strikes. And right there, he almost got his catcher. Broke his arm. Is that ball he could have swung at?
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Cardinals have turned a double play. That was back in the first. Cardinals come back after the All-Star break. 3 games in that weekend set, Hall of Fame weekend here at the ballpark. Then an off day. Cardinals then see the Phillies come in for 3. Ryan Howard will not be part of that series. Surgery, and he'll miss, looks like 2 months. Surgery on a tear in his left knee. Contract has turned out to not be a very good one. Think about some of the big deals in baseball and where teams are with that. And right now, Ryan Howard's contract is going down for the Phillies as being one of the worst in their history.
And I wonder how much of that knee is a reflection of the Achilles heel.
He's not been the same player. He's been hindered by injuries. Saw him go down in that final game against St. Louis in 2011. Was not the same player last year nor this year. There's a chopper towards short. Out there onto first and safe. As Elmore beats it out. Cardinals have dominated Houston here recently at Busch Stadium. Last 14 meetings, they've gone 12-2. Look at the run differential. Cardinals hitting well above 300. Very good ERA. The ERA 6+ for Houston.
On a smaller sample size, the Cardinals have won all 7 games against the Astros here at Busch Stadium since the start of 2012. Won't see the Stros for at least 3 years. Sounds like, Dan, they're going to try and do it the right way, where every 3 years you play each division, so every 6 years you'll have a home and an away series against all 3 divisions.
Mr. Crane, the owner of the Houston Astros with St. Louis ties, in town last night and received a big discount when he purchased the team if they would move to the American League. As Altuve pops it up into shallow right, and the catch is made by Alan Craig. Hyundai replay as we head to a timeout. Carpenter with the turn at second. What a missed double play. HOU home field advantage and an extraordinary Cardinals baseball experience. For reservations and info, number to call 314-421-1776 or visit HiltonSt.Louis.com. A 2-1 lead for Houston. Cardinals have Jay, Holiday, and Craig. See what happens second time through. What kind of adjustments are made on both sides?
Matt Adams, the only Cardinal to have a hit through the first time through the order. Lucky Alan Craig walked ahead of that.
And the first pitch is taken for a strike, and we're underway in the home half of the fourth. And Jay hits a high fly ball opposite way. Carter going back near the track and puts it away for the out. In Houston, that's gone. Here, just a long fly ball out.
What do we say about left-handed hitters there? Minute Maid. That left field, short left field porch, the Crawford box really plays to their advantage.
That's why Edmonds was always, I thought, dangerous there. He talked about it with me one time, how he would let the ball intentionally get deep,
right,
and then just drive it the opposite way.
Hitters make mistakes, particularly right-handers.
Holiday shoots it into right center field. That'll get down into the wall. He's picking up a number of doubles here recently. 1-out double for Holiday. 1 for 2 on the night.
15th double, but he's starting to get that average going up, and would want to bet against another 300 season. Like Matt just has that ability. And little breaking ball stays up. That's what you want to get the ball up so you can get it in the air and the line drive out towards right center. Hopefully the Cardinals can tie this up right here or take the lead with Allen Craig. It's automatic, isn't it?
488 with runners in scoring position. The numbers for Craig: 61 of the 71 RBIs that he has this year have come with runners in scoring position. 3rd in the league in hitting and 2nd in RBIs in the National League. Liner, one hop to Elmore. Holiday stays put. And Craig hits a bullet to Elmore, who stayed with the play, and there's 2 down.
Nice to see a young infielder square up to a ball. I don't know if he had time to move one way or the other, but played it well.
Elmore's starting to see a lot more playing time and getting those starts with Ronnie Cedeno on the bench.
Well, but it makes so much more sense to play a youngster over Ronnie Cedeno. Remember, Cedeno went to spring training with the Cardinals and was released. The Astros signed him late, and surprising that he got as much playing time as he did. But if you're looking to the future, look to the kids.
Adams has the lone RBI tonight. Saw the numbers there: 361 with runners in scoring position. Limited playing time, and he's made the most of it. Outfield is deep, big gap in right center. 1-1 pitch. He's the kind of guy that when Matt Adams is up, and I'm not saying it's on the McGuire level, but when he's up, everybody kind of stops waiting to see what the big man may do. He gets your attention real quick. His teammates rave about his batting practices and how the ball just jumps off his bat, how far he can hit it. The 2-1. Adams going the other way. Can he beat it out? Elmore, the throw from short, and save. Beats it out. Extends the inning to David Freese.
Great effort by the young shortstop and good hustle by Matt Adams. It was a race to the finish, and Matt wins it. His 2nd hit of the night. To the naked eye, it looked like he was safe. We'll see on our Hyundai replay.
Tim Timmons, the first base umpire.
Pretty close there. I thought he was still safe, but couldn't really tell when that foot touched the bag and when that ball really got into the glove.
So the call goes St. Louis's way. Here's Freese. Astros in 4 innings have stranded 6. The Cardinals now a chance to at least tie it up. High chopper towards 3rd, taken by Dominguez, and an easy play. Cardinals strand their first 2 of the night. We played 4, and the Astros on top of St. Louis 2-1. Try the new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Only 250 calories and only at McDonald's. The Cardinals frustrated tonight. So is that man right there, David Freese. Good opportunity to at least tie the game up. Cardinals couldn't do that. Freese up with runners at first and third. And grounded out to third, so the Cardinals strand their first 2 runners of the night, and they trail by the score up 2-1.
First ball hitting right there, and didn't necessarily say he got a pitch that he could drive, but
here we go with Castro, Carter, and Wallace. But I'm sure Shelby Miller has been to the video room and trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. If it's the extra rest, is it something mechanical? Is he rushing things? Really had issues with his delivery 2 starts ago, and even the one before that. We talked about him rushing just a bit. Looked a lot more intact last time. 1-1 pitch is in the dirt.
And I just have a hard time when today's pitchers talk about they lose command of their release point, or you hear have problems with repeatable delivery. It just seemed like, this is what you do for a living. You never, you could get out of whack a little bit, but you always knew how to get yourself back. You didn't need a pitching coach to tell you. You didn't need someone to tell you. You just had to feel, for just muscle memory, how to get back into your groove. And yet today, we always talk about the struggles young pitchers have with fastball command or repeatable delivery. It's just concentration. But you got to know your own mechanics, your checkpoints, so you can get yourself back.
And again, he goes 2-3-2.
And when he's missing, it's not just by inches. He's missing by plenty. Look at Lilliquist again. Just what's going on?
3-2 pitch. Driven out to deep left center field. Jay on the move, and out of reach. Ground rule double. So Castro is aboard for the first time tonight. Leadoff double to start the 5th. Shelby, by the way, is due up third for the Cardinals. And if you listen to our interview with Blaze Ilsley, bullpen coach, with Mike Shannon, had a chance to see that in our pregame show. He says around the 5th inning is when my guys start to stretch, and that's what they're doing right now.
John Jay is playing in his 232nd consecutive errorless game. Longest streak in the majors, and also a Cardinal franchise record for outfielders.
Well, Chris Carter back in the 2nd inning. First pitch he saw, homered to right. He has that raw power. He's also walked. That was his 10th walk in the last 13 games, and that's why the Astros have kept him in the lineup, getting on base more than just with the home run. And he's got power. 18 home runs now, and he's driven in 47.
Leads the club in home runs, RBIs, runs scored, tied for first in games played. 11 of his home runs have been on the road. He's hitting .295 on the road.
Cardinals have been out hit now 4-3 in this game. They trailed 2-1. 0-2 pitch from Shelby Miller. Strikeout number 5. Quick work of Carter, can't advance the runner, and it brings in Brett Wallace.
That overpowering fastball, when it's up, it explodes on hitters.
Wallace is 2 for 2, a pair of singles, getting 286 with runners in scoring position.
These young Astros are going up there looking and knowing they're going to get a fastball to hit, at least until 2 strikes.
looking at that Cardinal schedule, come back home in August, early August the 5th. And St. Louis is home a ton in the final 2 months. Cardinals have one long road trip coming up that includes a 5-game series with Pittsburgh. Doubleheader and a makeup date. 1-0 pitch.
Because of all the games the Cardinals have between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, I just don't think that anybody's going to pull away to the point where the game won't be decided head-to-head matchups. And that's the way it should be.
Here's a 1-1. Good pitch on the inside corner. There's a stretch in late August, early September. 13 games that the Cardinals will face Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. That might be your division right there, and those are consecutive games against those two teams.
It's going to be going up and down every night. But Cardinals are 10 games over 500 in the Central. Pittsburgh is 10 games over 500 in the Central. Cincinnati just 4. Most of the head-to-head competition is yet to be played. I think what Shelby's going through here tonight has nothing to do with the fact that his innings are going over 100.
Here's a 1-2 pitch with 1 out and a runner at second base.
Cruz slowing down a little bit.
On the inside corner and doesn't get the call. Been a combination of a tight strike zone, lack of command, and it's all added up to a long night for Shelby Miller as he approaches 90 pitches here in the top of the 5th.
A lot of these hitters have been patient enough to where they're going to get into good counts. They can kind of eliminate some of the breaking balls and look for fastballs. If guy's a good fastball hitter, Shelby's got to believe his fastball is better than them.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Broken bat. And Adams to Miller for the out.
Nice play there by Matt Adams. I know they've been working with Jose Oquendo on how far to range to his right. And there it looked like he made the right decision. And Shelby did the right job of coming over to cover.
Talk it over here, the approach with J.D. Martinez. It was a walk, and then he struck out on an 0-2 pitch back in the 3rd.
Seth Maness is up in the bullpen. I think part of that is going over, even though you've got all these walks, you still got to think about the hitter. You got first base open. I think they have a lot of respect for Martinez.
Liner, and that's into the seats. And you look at what the Astros have had here tonight. They had runners at first and third, and Martinez up back in the 3rd, only 1 out, and then there was back-to-back strikeouts. here in this inning. Ground rule double. Carter can't advance the runner to third. Right now he is at third after the ground out by Wallace, but will this come back to haunt Houston? Just the little opportunities that you may get during a game. And this time it will pay off. It doesn't matter. Base hit with 2 outs off the bat of Martinez on an 0-1 pitch. As he picks up the RBI, and that makes it a 3-1 Houston lead.
Tried to go up and in. Doesn't get there. Ball running. Leaves it up over the middle of the plate. He got solid wood on it. Just the 5th hit.
Cardinals with activity in their bullpen. Right-handers throwing, and Miller is due up third for St. Louis. RBI for Martinez is 34th. There's a breaking pitch that's in there for a strike. And it's popped up. Carpenter. Decision time for Mike Matheny. Will he stick with Shelby Miller for one more inning? Descalso, Cruz, and then Shelby due up third. And it's Edwin Jackson getting the start. Former Cardinal that helped the Cardinals that great 2011 run. His career record against St. Louis, 1-4. The Cardinals are in Chicago tomorrow. Jake Westbrook on the mound for St. Louis.
Edwin Jackson this year is 5-10 with a 5.50 ERA, but pitching better of late.
Seth Maness has sat down, so it's Descalso, Cruz, and Miller due up. There's a line drive, and it's a grounder, and Descalso is out, hustling all the way. Elmore trying to sell it to the second base umpire, Rob Drake. And Daniel never took anything for granted. And tonight he's 0 for 2.
See this ball. I think he caught it. And then when he saw the umpire right there, see, you have a better look here, Dan. See if he doesn't catch this ball right off the shoe tops.
I thought he did.
Yeah, he did. That ball never touched the dirt, but with the umpire right in front of him there. He saw that he called it, that it hit the ground, so he knew he had to complete the throw. But you're right about Daniel really hustling, and it almost paid off.
Shane Robinson now has moved to the on-deck circle.
And Seth gets back up with one out.
And that's a fair ball. Long throw from third, and Cruz beats it out. Great effort by Dominguez, and Tony Cruz is aboard with his first base hit of the night.
Good thing with Tony Cruz hustling down there and just had enough to outbeat the throw. But Dominguez, they really like him defensively. He shows great range right there, and his athleticism as he throws on the run. He's 10-15 feet from fair territory, and had enough on that without a hustling base runner, he would have got him out.
Fives were wild tonight for Shelby Miller. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 3 earned runs. So that's it for Shelby, and here's Shane Robinson. Robinson will be the pinch hitter, and he had the walk-off hit over the weekend. 94 total pitches for Shelby, and just 56 were strikes.
I'm sure Shelby disappointed with his outing, but now hopeful his teammates can get him off the hook. There's some guys down that bullpen that need some work, but it's not the way Shelby wanted to conserve innings.
Catches the corner, and a strike for Lyles against Robinson. Tyler Lewis never misses a game. He's watching tonight. Happy 19th birthday to Tyler Lewis. Also happy 80th birthday to Paul Simon. Son Jim never misses a game, and happy birthday to Paul, 80 years young. That's fouled back by Robinson, 2-2. Nancy Arnold is recovering after surgery and taking in the ball game tonight. Good luck to Nancy. Hopefully we'll see you at the ballpark soon. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, and Robinson hits it into the seats. Deck just below us. See if they start Cruz again. Cardinals with 4 hits tonight. 2 of those have been infield hits.
And that ground ball pitcher, I'm sure they'll send the runner. Really the Matt Holliday line drive out right center, the only one that really was hit beyond the infield grass.
11 ground ball outs. There goes Cruz, and Robinson a base hit into right. Martinez's throw is not in time. So runners at the corners for St. Louis. Shane Robinson again off the bench, delivering a base hit into right field.
Who knows? Maybe Shelby Miller will pick up his 10th win. Up to the offense. Shane does his part. Another pitch up in the zone. He loves it up there. Tony Cruz can go first to third. Tying runs are on base. The potential winning run is the all-star Matt Carpenter, and a little timely hitting now and the bullpen effectiveness. Maybe he will pick up win number 10.
Most RBIs by leadoff men. This is in the National League. 32 for Carpenter, who's 0 for 2 tonight.
Carpenter has 40 RBIs overall, but 8 of those at third base.
Robinson, good speed at first. Cruz, the runner at third. Matt Carpenter is putting together one of the greatest first halves ever by a Cardinal leadoff man. Now, clearly, steals are out of the equation for him, but looking at all the other numbers, average, on-base percentage, walks, multi-hit games, doubles, the RBIs, he's right there with some of the best ever. 1 out, runners at the corners. I mentioned this the other day. He's really learned to stay away from the high pitch. And you might remember last year, at times he would chase a ball out of the zone, especially up. And he has laid off that pitch. He is one of the best batting eyes on the team.
Well, I think that's it. The discipline that he has in the batter's box, pitch recognition, a great trait of not being afraid to hit down in the count. I think sometimes he doesn't feel comfortable until he has 2 strikes on him. Probably 2-0 he isn't comfortable. But he can be so selective. Look for a pitch to his liking. Of course, the Astros behind Lyles, they just know that they can turn a little ground ball into a rally-killing twin killer.
Finally, the crowd coming alive a little bit. Three and 0. Let's take in this crowd. Walked him, bases loaded. Second walk issued by Jordan Lyles. Now the Cardinals have something going here. Bases loaded, and John Jay will be the hitter. He's flied out to deep left and also popped out to first.
Kendo's going to come down and talk to John Jay. Doug Brocail, the pitching coach for Houston, told him to really execute his pitches here with Holiday on deck, and then Alan Craig. This is really the key hitter for the offense and for the defensive team.
Big gap in right center. Bases loaded, 1 out. Out of play, strike 1. John Jay, third among National League center fielders in RBIs. 1 for 3 last night. Hitless tonight.
Still looking for his first career grand slam, but he's got a .364 average and 26 RBIs with the bases loaded.
Oh, 1 pitch. Inning started with Descalso lining what we thought was a line out to short, called a ground ball, but hard hit. 11th ground ball out. Then the infield hit for Tony Cruz. Shane Robinson, the pinch runner, base hit into right, and then Matt Carpenter drawing the second walk. That's strike 2 on John Jay.
Now the Anytime Castro gets something in his eye, maybe it's just sweat, but
here's a 1-2. Check swing, and Jay strikes out.
Worse things that could have happened than the strikeout. So
You're thinking double play.
Yeah, it does allow Matt Holliday to come up here. Here, little breaking ball, not even close to the strike zone, over anxious, and he did commit. First strikeout. Came at the right time, didn't it?
Sure did. Now it's Holliday, who has doubled and also grounded out to short. Cardinals trying to take Shelby off the hook. A base hit could tie it up.
Back with the hook, get him a win.
Could be 12 days of rest before his next start.
Yeah, I mean, to conserve energy or innings, that's why they flip-flop Wainwright, so he'll start on Sunday. And not decided where he'll start the first game back, or but you know it'll probably be the second one, not the first. Couple pitches inside, but he's not trying to send a message to Holliday with the bases loaded. He wouldn't walk him to bring up Alan Craig with a 3-2 game, would he?
Three balls, one strike.
Holliday in his career with the bases loaded, 370 average with 5 grand slams and 117 RBIs. Who says he isn't clutch?
Full count. Runners off with his pitch.
Matt looking for a pitch to his liking. That's not what he thought he was going to get. He wasn't looking fastball there, so you take it and run the count full. The merry-go-round. Everybody will be running on this pitch.
Holliday, a liner in the right, hit drops. This game is at least tied. And Matt Holliday delivers. 2-run score. We're tied up at 3-3.
Way to go, Matt. Double the first time, or second time up. Now he's got his RBI total. 2 more. He's at 47. He got off to a slow start, but numbers will be very good when it's all said and done. And on the 3-2 pitch, you got all the runners going, so it guarantees at least 2 runs, and Carpenter will go all the way to third. Miller is off the hook. Now let's get him his 10th win.
The way he pitched tonight, for him to be in that position is a miracle.
The way he pitched tonight, though, he didn't minimize the damage. Probably should have been a lot worse.
Oh, it should have been. Here's Alan Craig, who has walked and scored. Also grounded out to short.
Heard the story. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
There you go.
Alan Craig And this year, with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, you already mentioned it, leading the major leagues at 488. 1 home run, 29 RBIs, an OPS of almost 12.5. .241 to be exact for the OPS in this situation. Two and 0. Remember, Matt Adams is 2 for 2 on deck.
I'm sure John Jay feels like he's off the hook as well. Bases loaded, 1 out, struck out.
That's all about picking up your teammates. And we also said it wasn't the worst thing to strike out.
2-1 pitch. Craig gets it out of play. Love to have that one back.
Saw that last graphic, which told the story as to why Shelby Miller was lucky. But also, remember, in fact, the one that dealt when they had base runners in scoring position, he kept them 1 for 9. Activity in the bullpen. This could be the last batter that Lyles faces.
Tapped out in front of the plate, calling for it, Castro, and he makes the play. Matt Holliday now with 6 RBIs on this homestand, and RBIs in 3 consecutive games. We're tied up. That giveaway 1940s jersey Saturday, July 20th. The Cardinals take on the Padres. You'll take home that old school jersey. And that's July 20th. Also the Ozzie bobblehead the night before. And then Red's best friend, Stan the Man, has his statue giveaway on Sunday. Cardinals have tied it up. And Seth Maness takes over for the Cardinals. It's our Chevy call to the pen, his 28th appearance. 2.60 ERA. High opponent's average, but many times he's able to erase those base runners with ground balls and double plays.
And tied for first in the National League with 9 double plays. And remember, when he first came up, he got 4 wins real quick. His record is 4-1. The Vulture is out there looking for win number 5, but he's earned those wins. Those double plays early, we brought him up. He doesn't throw hard like the other relievers, Dan, but he throws strikes and has that ability to get ground ball ground balls. Like you said, the high average against, but he erases them.
Seth Maness, 4-1. 27 2/3 innings pitched. Total of 4 walks. 13 strikeouts.
And the guys in the bullpen, Seth doesn't throw hard, but he was the highest selected. He was selected in the 11th round. Everybody else was higher, going all the way to Sechrist at 41st round.
Sechrist has been awesome. I mean, that guy has been so much fun to watch. Again, 2 more strikeouts last night. He's allowed a total of 2 hits, no runs in his big league career. 12 outings.
And there he is right there, the big lefty. And now with his 12 shutout innings and appearances, that's the best of any Cardinal reliever to start their career.
2-2 pitch and a ground ball that's tapped foul. Cliff Lee takes a loss tonight, drops to 10-3. Should be interesting few weeks for Cliff Lee to see if he stays in Philly. And if that decision now for the Phillies has been made with the Ryan Howard injury. I know you and I had talked to some folks that said they still were on the fence of what they wanted to do about a week ago.
Yeah, but like you say, with Ryan Howard going out, that might have been the final straw to make the decision.
Mets win behind Zach Wheeler, who's 3-1, 7-2 the final there. Miami over Atlanta, 6-2. Jacob Turner, St. Louis, and good for him as he picks up the win. He's 3-1. We mentioned earlier that Cincinnati snaps their losing skid as they win behind Mike Leake, 8 1/3 for Leake, 6-2 the final.
When does Scherzer pitch again?
Here's a ground ball that's hit too short, charging Descalso. 1 away. Jordan Lyles will hit for himself, stays in this ball game. 0 for 2 on the night. Jordan Lyles had made nearly 50 starts before the age of 22. When he made his debut, 20 years and 224 days old. He's coming off a very good start against Tampa Bay. 6 2/3. Only 2 runs allowed, and tonight through 5 he's given up 3. 0-2 pitch by Maness.
And Jason Marquis going for his 10th win tonight.
What a story, huh?
Yeah.
Innings eater for the Cardinals.
I'm sorry, he's doing tomorrow.
Yeah, Marquis was a guy that give you double figures in wins and occasionally have that superb start as Maness picks up the strikeout. And the Twitter poll, AT&T,
your guy,
69%. And again, that's not the official poll. That's what you are saying on our AT&T Twitter poll.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times now. So if the Cardinal fans want to see him, we hope he does get that final vote. Represent the National League in the All-Star game shown on Fox on Tuesday night.
That's it out of play. Jake Elmore, pair of walks and grounded into a fielder's choice. Popped up to the left side. Long way to go. Descalso, foul territory. Near the seats, and he makes the play. Talk about concentration. Very good play by Descalso. For the Cardinals coming up, they've got Adams, Freese, and Daniel Descalso due up when we come back. And the All-Star game, remember, on Fox next Tuesday. Adam Wainwright struck out Torrey Hunter, his lone All-Star appearance.
Adams going to pitch on Sunday, so if he will go to the All-Star game, I think it's his prerogative. He could pitch 1 inning maximum, but I think what he will do is go enjoy the festivities, be honored as an All-Star, but turn his slot over to a fresh pitcher.
Adams, first pitch, 1 away. Yeah, Major League Baseball encourages those pitchers, and that's the Sunday pitchers, that if they're selected, again, it is up to them as well as the input of the club. So in this case, the Cardinals and Wainwright. And it's 1 inning max, or the player, the pitcher in this instance, can say, I want a pitch count, and no matter the situation, if I hit that pitch count, I want to be taken out of the game. Adam elected to move the rotation around to get him a start last night and again on Sunday. So he has a chance to be a 13-game winner before the All-Star break, and he has had a heck of a year already. Tied for first in wins, 3rd in ERA, 4 complete games, 3rd in strikeouts, leads in innings of the National League. And the amazing thing, you know, we talk about Bud Norris and early dominance against St. Louis. It's now 21 games against Houston for Adam Wainwright. He's 13-1 in his career with a 1.57 ERA. Now that is dominance.
Yeah, and in my mind, he's the leading candidate for the Cy Young. Now, it's awful early to be talking that way, but Adam, who should already have at least one, probably 2010 season, should have been Cy Young Award winner, but because Chris Carpenter and Adam Wainwright were so good that year, they split the votes, and neither one of them were able to claim the crown, and Lincecum came in the back door for his second one. But he will do what's best for the team, and that's to pitch on Sunday and be ready right after the break also.
Oh, foul back, and I wonder if that caught the hand of David Freese.
No, it didn't, unfortunately, but he feels like he just got cheated. Ball in on him, just really ran in there, and he gets cheated out of a strike right above the hands, and he would have told you that ball hit him.
1-2 pitch. And Freeze hits it back to the pitcher. Flings his bat. And there's 2 down. Lowe's never stop improving. Daniel Descalso, last 6 games on a tear. 389 average. The previous 6 he was 1 for 10. We've seen the bulk of the playing time at shortstop with Cosma on the bench. Popped up to the left side. Elmore or Dominguez. It's Dominguez, and the Cardinals go quietly in the 6th. We're tied up. It's 3-3 here at Busch Stadium. One of the greatest athletes of all time on Sunday, August 18th. It's the 4th annual Cardinals Care 6K and 1 mile fun run. Named for Cardinals Hall of Famers, Stan the Man. For more information to sign up, go to cardinals.com/6K.
Dan, you remember Brett Butler?
Sure do.
After a frustrating at bat by a third baseman, say one like Freeze just had, Brett Butler would drop down a bunt towards the third baseman. We think that that guy was still thinking about the at bat, and of course Brett was such an excellent bunter. He's also a left-handed hitter, so got much closer to first base. But one of the little tricks that he learned.
Longtime San Francisco Giant, Brett Butler.
I played with him in Atlanta, so I remember where he first started. Didn't make his high school baseball team, and ended up on a nice career. I believe ended up with the Dodgers. Last time I saw any video on him was one of those YouTube things where he was pitching to his out of 4 or 5-year-old son.
Oh yeah,
you remember now?
The comebacker that
yep.
You don't want it to come back in that area. That's off the glove of Descalso. Yes, I do. I remember quite well. All right, so this is where the Cardinals need that double play off the bat of Jason Castro.
The effort by Descalso trying to get over there, just maybe off the webbing a little bit, but just beyond his reach. And we talked about that off Manus. He'll give up some hits, but he can immediately turn it into a double play ball. Tuve leads the Astros with 21 steals.
No Molina behind the plate. It's Tony Cruz. Altuve, first among Major League second basemen in not only steals but also DP's turns. So he's quick around the bag with those double plays. And Castro tonight, ground rule double, scored a run back in the 5th. Struck out on a 3-2 pitch. The first K for Shelby Miller of the night. Also flied out to center. Here's a 1-1. Manus also out with that sinking action, has good late movement, in particular in on the righties, away from the lefties.
He's got to have movement. And his ability to throw strikes. He was the Cardinals' minor league pitcher of the year last year. As part of that Springfield Championship Ball Club. He was one of the Quad Cities Championship Club too.
And that's an out. It is caught. Looked like Carpenter tried to let it hit down and get the double play, but got the shore out with the catch. We've seen him do that a few times this year. Really a heads-up play.
And the ball just got on him so quickly, and couldn't take it on the short hop. And just right now, he's been having a little fielding funk. So go ahead and field it cleanly, and let Manus get the double play ground ball off the bat of Carter, excuse me. Slider there.
A home run tonight. First pitch he saw in the second inning. Also has walked and struck out following the double back in the 5th by Castro. Couldn't advance him. And Shelby Miller just went right at him. Pitch number 28 from Manus. When Seth Manus misses, it's not by much. Always around the plate.
Coming into this season, he had a career 10-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Only 15 total walks issued and a total of 884 career minor league batters coming into this year.
Two and one. Be careful here. Carter with tremendous power.
But holes in his bat with all the strikeouts.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Outfield deep and straight away.
Carter with 121 strikeouts on the year.
Blocked by Cruz. Full count. Let's see if they want to start the runner here.
Tough call.
Run the risk of a double play with a guy that is not a contact hitter. Clearly.
But you've got one of your best base stealers there, so.
Not running, and the pitch is taken low. So walk by Manus. Strike zone has been inconsistent at best. Shelby issued 5 walks, and that's the first walk handed out by Seth Manus.
Rosenthal was throwing, but no left-hander for Wallace.
I believe, and I know that Shelby clearly had his issues with control, but I think part of that, it started to unravel for him when the strike zone was as inconsistent as it was early on. But that's part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to, if that is the case, you have to find a way to pitch around it.
And Wallace, a couple of base hits, singles, 2 for 3 tonight. Be interesting to see how Mike Matheny, if the opportunity arises, would he go with Edward Mujica? 5 straight over 6 days for Mujica. Loss, a win, save. I mean, it's been an odd run for him.
I don't think there's any doubt because of the off day on Monday. But it's a shame that he had to pitch last night. 9-1 lead going to the 9th inning turned into a save situation for Mujica.
One to one the count.
He's just open for that opportunity to decide whether he wanted to use this closer or a secondary closer on tonight's ball game.
Cardinals will have Cruz, Magnus' spot, and the top of the lineup due up. 2-1.
Where was that pitch?
And a ground ball, base hit into right. Altuve being waved in. The throw by Craig, not in time. And the Astros have the lead. It's 4-3.
Altuve, very good speed out there, second. Yeah, Alan Craig has no shot to get him at the plate. Chris Carter goes from first to third. The 11th RBI for Brett Wallace. And with first and third and 2 outs, Derek Wilderquist comes out to talk to Magnus. Rosenthal still in the bullpen, but they're going to stick with Magnus, it appears. And now it's Butler.
So runners at the corners. For JD Martinez. And he looks at a strike. And that potential double play looms large. Get out of this inning.
JD's last time up got an RBI single, drive in third run off of Shelby Miller. Got a chance to do more damage here.
Also has walked and struck out on an 0-2 pitch. Bottom dropped out of the pitch, and it's 0-2.
Slider's been pretty good tonight at times. Slider right here, and Tony has to make the good block, the weight shift.
That is ripped down the left field line, but pulled foul.
Nice play by a fan. A young lady, it looked like, caught her glove and snared that one. She's saying, why isn't that out number 2 for the Cardinals?
Just giving that usher an earful. Yeah, fine. Get out of here. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Reaching for it again. Where's that glove? And we need Bartman. You know, we're heading to Wrigley, Al.
I know.
Speaking of Bartman.
Only if they show up.
You and I, hand in hand.
We could do without that part.
1-2 pitch. That's fouled back. Pitch count starting to get up there now for Seth Maness at 42. Now he has been a starter, but up here it's been relief work. It's high. Previous high as far as pitch counts for Seth Maness was 28. And he got him. Strikeout.
The breaking ball there for the strikeout.
Big strikeout with runners at first and third. And now Adams trots in as he calls time to visit with Maness.
And you don't know if that was ordered from the bench. Butler should be ready if they wanted to use him, but Mike Matheny, I know, has a lot of confidence in Seth Maness.
Two outs and two on. That's tapped foul. Declan McLaughlin is watching the game. No relation, but enjoying the ball game. It's always good to see that Declan is watching on Fox Sports Midwest. So 2 outs and 2 on. The 0-1 pitch. What do you know? That time it's a strike. The 15th sellout. 44,313 here tonight. 4-4-3-1-3. The 15th sellout. 5 consecutive sellouts against Miami and Houston. That is remarkable. There's no disrespect to those two franchises, but my goodness, 44,000 tonight.
You know, it was a weekend with Miami, but here you got middle of the week games against Houston Astros on non-giveaway nights. It is quite a testament to Cardinal Nation and what they feel about their team. And you wonder next year, Dan, will they include the seating over at Ballpark Village as part of the attendance?
All-inclusive tickets, 2-tier deck across the street. 1-2 pitch, got him. Strikeout, back-to-back Ks from Maness, but Houston retakes the lead. RBI single by Brett Wallace. 3-hit night for the former Cardinal. And tonight, Matt Holliday tied it up. Bases loaded, single with 2 outs. For Holliday, that was back in the 5th. That tied it up. Since that time, Miami, rather the Houston Astros, have retaken the lead. And that hits Tony Cruz. So Lyles' first pitch, start the home half of the 7th. Hits Tony Cruz.
Just didn't pull down on the curveball and just had to. They can't believe it. And now Doug Bockel, reporter, will get going, and Yadier Molina is pinch hitting. That's why you hear the applause.
As we have seen, Yadi aggressive early in counts. Breaking ball and a strike.
Looking for a fastball there and got the breaking ball. Had the bat controlled to stop.
Molina is a pinch hitter, 1 for 1 with an RBI. Leading the league in hitting at .344.
He can make this move because he's got Rob Johnson on the bench, third catcher. So there'll be times when Mike will pinch hit Tony Cruz. And in times where Yadi's getting rest, he can come in off the bench in a strategic part of the game.
Molina and Craig Carpenter all on that list.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Beltran is like 11th in the National League, so 4 hitters going to the All-Star game for the Cardinals are all having great years, deserve that recognition. But the fifth time Yadi's going to the All-Star game. Beltran 8, Wainwright 2. And then Alan Craig and Matt Carpenter their first times. Tuesday night, you'll see the All-Star game on Fox.
Yadi strikes out. Miles picks up his second strikeout. Back to the top of the lineup and Matt Carpenter.
Fastball up and in, comes up empty.
Carpenter 0 for 2 with a walk.
Porter out to talk to him. The way he's trotting, maybe a signal to the bullpen that I'm not totally sure, or I'm not taking him out. I just want to have a word with him or ask a question and see what he has to say. Now he will go to the bullpen.
Wesley Wright, one of their 3 lefties coming in. And let's get you caught up. What's happened tonight? The Cardinals trailing 4-3. Holiday 2 for 3 with a pair of RBIs. Lyles 6 1/3. Just lifted from this game. And Shelby Miller, 5 innings, the 5 hits, 5 strikeouts to go along with 5 walks and the 3 earned runs. Here's Wesley Wright. It is our Chevy. Called to the pen. The lefty is in.
Wesley Wright, 0-2 this year, ERA at 4.18. He's come for his 43rd appearance. Since 2000 season, he's held lefties to a 203 average, allowing only 7 extra base hits. See if Carpenter can't change that.
1 out runner at first. That's Tony Cruz. They have Blackley and Oberholzer, left side of their pen, along with Wesley Wright.
Got Clemens warming up.
Two and 0.
Wesley Wright was a Rule 5 selection 4 years ago from Los Angeles Dodgers.
Carpenter shaking his hand after that swing. Steps away. 2 balls and 1 strike. 3 hits in game 1 of this series, and tonight hitless over 2 with that walk.
Sure, Matt's got a lot of friends that are conflicted with this game. Astros fans, but want to see him do well.
Carpenter, deep right at the wall, gone! The All-Star puts the Cardinals on top, and a charge into that baby. 2-run shot for Carpenter, his 9th of the season.
And remember, it's off the left-hander Wesley Wright, who's held lefties to a 203 average, now 8 extra base hits since 2011. And the Vulture strikes again. Seth Maness has a chance to pick up his 5th win, thanks to Carpenter and company. There's a big Cardinal fan named Declan that just told us a little while ago that Cardinals were going to win this game. I was talking about how well he hangs in against left-handers. A lot of times lefties got to take a pitch from Wesley Wright, somebody to the opposite field, but if he gets it in the right spot, then you turn on it, and Carpenter did.
So Matt Carpenter, his 9th home run, and it's RBIs 41 and 42 for the All-Star. Into center field off the bat of Jay, and there's 2 away.
Bo Porter goes to his bullpen now and bring in the right-handers for Matt Holliday. Both showing his youth.
Take a look at this home run as we head to a break. Carpenter puts the Cardinals on top 5-4 with this blast. We know about Paul.
He was acquired in the Michael Bourne deal. So originally with Atlanta, came over with Juan Abreu, Brett Oberhauser, and Jordan Schaefer in exchange for Michael Bourne. July 31st, 2011. Made one appearance at AAA this year. He's got a lot of decisions for a reliever. 4-3 on the year.
Highest bullpen ERA in the American League. Houston near 5, and Carpenter, by the way, 15 career home runs. What's interesting about that, 9 have been against left-handed pitching.
Going to show you how well he hangs in there against left-handers, and then when they make a mistake like that, that ball was supposed to be away from him. He turned on it and pulls the ball out of the ballpark. This year is Paul Clemens' first appearance at the major league level. Been 5 years of minor league service.
Two outs here in the home half of the 7th. Bottom of the 3rd. Pittsburgh is leading Oakland at home 2-0. Tabata with an RBI double, and McCutchen also an RBI. Up in his eyes, and he hits it towards short, and the play is made. Matt Carpenter, the All-Star, gives the Cardinals a 1-run lead. Burrito Sports Update. Let's head over to the desk and Pat Paris. All right, thank you, Pat. And our Chevy call to the pen takes us to Trevor Rosenthal. And Rosenthal is in for the 41st time and an ERA that's under 2.
Ton of strikeouts. Not only 62 strikeouts, but a good walk ratio. 62 Ks, 9 balls or 9 walks. He's first in the National League with his 62 relievers among National League relievers. Team leaders in innings pitched and appearances. 42 innings and 41 appearances now.
Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Would you be tempted? Pitch him 2 innings.
I would.
And the reason we say that is because Mojica has worked 5 of the last 6 days. He just has to work, 5 more games.
There's a strikeout for Trevor to start the inning.
Mojica, I think he should be at the All-Star, but he gets victimized by the Cardinals having the most All-Stars in the National League, and it's kind of tough to have one more.
Mark Krause will be the pinch hitter. Let's put it this way. Mike Matheny was non-committal in what may take place in the 9th inning if the Cardinals do indeed have a lead. I wouldn't expect him, though, to tip his hand in the pregame setting with the media and say, yep, our closer is out, shut down, we're not going to bring him in.
Yeah, I mean,
occasionally they'll say that, but more times than not, it's the competitive advantage that you give a team if you know that.
Correct. Just don't want the opposition to think that, okay, he's not available tonight.
There's a line drive and a single into center field. You know, the other guy, I'm not sure I would want to see him close a game out, but at this point, I don't care when I see him. It's Kevin Segrist.
Exactly.
Lefty, righty, I don't care. I mean, that guy has been that good.
And I think this is a situation here too, Dan, because you've got a bunch of left-handed bats on that lineup, guys that, you know, switch hitters and left-handers. So, you know, by bringing in Segrist, maybe you keep Carlos Pena and his power bat on the bench. At some point, you know, Mariano Rivera never had a save.
Paredes will be the pinch runner after the single by Krause. Can't catch up. Jake Elmore, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Keith Butler with closing experience in the minor leagues.
Segrist warming up now, but that may be just Brett Wallace.
Breaking ball, 79 miles an hour. So from the hitter's perspective, here you are. You're behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. This guy throws 100. He also features a pretty good changeup. And oh, by the way, he'll mix in a curveball. Good luck.
Ed Red. Hoping he would chase that one. Swing and miss, or a pop-up. About the best you can do with a pitch like that. I didn't offer. comes a changeup.
Runner goes on a 2-2. Changeup had him out in front. It's popped up, going out to Scalzo. Shortstop makes the play. Paredes back to the bag at first.
Scalzo goes out a long way, and you know that infielder goes out there. You're backpedaling. You feel like you're getting out there, but you stay with it until you're called off. So as Scalzo's going there, remember the runner is going here, so watch Carpenter. He's trying to act like he's going to be a ground ball hit to him, but Paredes, he picked up the fly of the ball. He saw that Scalzo was also in his peripheral vision.
Very late with that swing. Strike one on Altuve. Does have a single and a run scored. That was in the 7th. Briefly put Houston on top. It's now 3-0 Pittsburgh in the bottom of the 3rd, leading Oakland. Little floater, and that's foul. Couldn't catch up there.
Dan, sometimes you worry about a guy that's throwing as hard as Rosenthal, and he'll nearly get it by somebody, but they're so late with their swing, they just flare it down the right field line. And with Adams holding on, you know, it could be a bad result. Throws to first. .99 on that pitch, down and away. Cruz is looking in just for Matheny to show signs on the running game. It's not pitch selection. Same thing, fastball away.
And that turns into a base hit. Throw will come back into the infield, and it's runners at the corners. And I'm sure, just like Shelby Miller and Manus, Rosenthal thought he had strike 3.
I'll give Altuve a little credit. Centers this ball, hits it hard. Paredes goes all the way to 3rd. You got Sechrist warming up for a left-hander, but it looks like Rosenthal will get the first shot at Castro.
Two outs, 2 on.
Have to speed it up a little bit. Overmatched by that 98-mile-an-hour fastball. That's just strike 1. Get your attention. 98 at your knee. Be cute. The story of this game for the Astros, their lack of hitting with runners in scoring position. 98 right on the hands. Got a little piece of it, but right into the glove. 12 pitches, 95 or higher from Rosenthal.
And he got it. Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Jose Cisnero takes over, his 20th appearance, and I'm sure he'll welcome this great strike zone we've seen all night.
See 35 strikeouts and 36 plus innings. Cisnero's last outing allowed 3 runs and 1 inning to work on Thursday versus Tampa Bay. He had pitched very well prior to that with a 1.75 ERA, 2-1 record, 30 punch-outs in 14 outings. As you recall from AAA on April 22nd, made his major league debut versus Seattle that night.
Strike at the knees underway here in the home half of the 8th. Right-hander throwing in the Cardinals pen.
Mojica. Cisneros, the product of the Astros Dominican Academy. Resides in San Pedro de Macorís.
1-2 the count on Craig.
Running up and in. Now the pitcher doesn't know how to throw strikes. Ball gets away from him, but take advantage of it. Only 23 years of age.
Leadoff walk. It's Chris Carter, Brett Wallace, and JD Martinez due up. Those three have been on base 8 times tonight.
And the reason why he used Mahica, even though he's been busy 5 out of the last 6 games, is because you just don't know. The whole weekend series, will there be a save opportunity or will there be Cardinal blowouts? So if you got a save opportunity, you take advantage of it.
Play devil's advocate. You also, though, don't want to burn them out.
It's either feast or famine down there.
So here's Adams.
Raw talent on the mound, slinging the ball, and now pitching coach will go out there. Doug Brocail, he knows about pitching out of the pen.
Okay, here's the deal, Jose. Throw strikes. What do you tell a guy here?
Throw strikes.
Is he picking up something maybe with his mechanics? As you said, he slings the ball up there. He hasn't been around the strike zone for the most part. I guess you're trying to settle him down a little bit.
And like I said, his last outing, he allowed 3 runs in 1 inning. Prior to that, he had pitched very well for 19 1/3 innings, but time to try too hard trying to figure out why and complicate it.
1-0 pitch to Adams. Matt Adams had an RBI base hit back in the second, an infield hit in the fourth, and is also grounded out to short.
2 for 3. He's got his average back up to 325.
Reno. He may just launch one right here on 3-0. He was trying to.
thing the offense could do is, say, score a bunch of runs here, get it out of a save situation, and maybe that's how you save Mojica.
Runner goes. It's swung on and missed, and a stolen base for Craig. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Music First. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's Freeze. Fly to right, grounded out with 2 runners on to third. Also grounded back to the pitcher. Last night, his first 3-hit game since the middle of June.
Career against Houston, he's hit .336, 6 home runs, 22 RBIs. Swing has been a little better by David. A while since David Freese has hit a home run.
Crawford boxes in Houston last time he did it. And a 1-2 pitch with a runner at second. That's Craig. Strikes out, and there's 2 away.
Pass, David.
So the intentional pass here to Daniel Descalso, and they'll pitch to Tony Cruz, who is single tonight. You would have to think that man will pinch hit. You've got Rob Johnson to catch if need be. Who knows? Maybe he puts the game out of reach.
It's a luxury and Mike can do with this situation. Or is he going to on deck circle? He's there for the pitcher spot. Here, Tony Cruz, not a lot of opportunities, but his runners in scoring positions hit .444.
Four for 9, small sample size, but let's see if he can't help the Cardinals' cause here. Tony Cruz, ground out to second, infield hit, been hit by a pitch. Well, you have the luxury of carrying 3 catchers, and you've got a guy that's sitting on deck, 19 home runs, 50-plus RBIs, and hopefully we'll see him hit in this game. Beltran, one swing of the bat could put this game out of reach. Maybe Cruz can do that here.
Is 1 strike away from striking out the side with a pair of walks in there, 1 intentional.
Puts it in play, grounds to short, force play close at second. That sends us to the 9th. Cardinals lead it by the score of 5-4. Mejica coming on when we come back.
Game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Pat Paris and Chris Duncan are at Lumiere Place. Matt Carpenter with a 2-run shot to put the Cardinals on top. They'll re-rack the highlights. Shelby Miller goes 5 and has command issues with his fastball. They'll break down his night. Plus, we'll have Mike Matheny's post-game comments as well. Edward Mojica on to pitch for the Cardinals. Dan Al, who doesn't like a little Mojica time?
Well, maybe the opposition, Jim.
That's a good one, Dan.
Mejica is into the ball game, and the Cardinals have a lead of 5-4. And Edward Mejica has had 1 poor outing with a game on the line, and that was the previous road trip. It's our Chevy call to the pen. And Mejica, 24 saves, and he's just 4 back of Jason Grilli. Pirates in the 4th inning of their game that was stalled because of rain Fourth inning in Pittsburgh, and they lead 3-0. Pete Kozma's in the ball game, and he takes over at short. So 6 straight games covering 7 days.
And just hope that he's very efficient. Majority of his saves have been 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 2 the count on Carter. He homered tonight. Back in the second, so heavy workload here for the Cardinals closer. It's sharply and foul. Descalso shifting from shortstop to third.
Kind of hanging on that line right there. Got a little glove on it, but it was foul when it passed the bag. And Mojica has him right where he wants him for the changeup. Another changeup. Sometimes you would think that changeup, with being so used so much, would maybe be dancing a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's moving too much. We'll see it again.
Mojica with 33 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 190 against him in his nearly 40 innings of work. Saved the Cardinals last year and literally saving games this year, but also saved the bullpen after Mitchell Boggs imploded early on and subsequently shipped to Colorado.
Fastball away. Didn't want the changeup.
Got it. That's how we start the ninth for Mojica and the Cardinals, and a strikeout.
Perfect placement on that fastball there. Down and away. Mojica's just had impeccable control also. Very few walks to go with his strikeouts. I mentioned Mojica saved the team last year when he was the 7th inning man. He saved, hold, or won 48 of the 67 games he's pitched over the last year and a half.
Popped up. Strike one. Big night for Brett Wallace. 13th overall pick, 2008 by the Cardinals. Single and a run scored in the second. Base hit into right in the third. Grounded out to first, and at the time of the 7th, an RBI single that gave Houston a 1-run lead. But then Matt Carpenter, 2-run homer to give the Cardinals their first and only lead of the night. That's where we stand right now, 5-4. Change up again.
That one, the bottom fall.
flare out to left and a sliding catch. No, couldn't come up with it. Base hit for Wallace. And the tying run is on. Big night for Brett Wallace. Drops in for a hit and he goes 4 for 5 tonight.
4 for 5. RBI, run scored. Let's make sure he doesn't score another one. There you see, never did have it in the glove. Does a good job to keep it in the vicinity. That ball gets by him, being in big time trouble. Just underneath the glove, slowed it up enough that it's right there. He can retrieve it and hold him to a single.
Wallace career highs on Saturday. Reached base 5 times, 5 plate appearances against Texas. That was Saturday night. Now it's Martinez. I'll flip a coin. Sometimes that's a strike tonight. Sometimes it's
a little wide,
not.
didn't it?
Yep.
But we'll take it. It's been consistent. He's either called it a strike or a ball.
Mahika got the call on the previous pitch, went right back to it. 0-1.
Good enough fastball to go with that changeup, but a little bit off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Mahika has 34 strikeouts on the year and just 2 walks. 2-2. Been what, 4 straight fastballs? Fastball. He's got good enough control right here that he could go up the ladder and throw a ball up. After all these balls down, I'm sure he would chase it. Fastball away, it looks like. And in. Everything's been down. Away, looks.
Ground ball could be 2, but bobbled by Descalso, and everybody is safe. Could have been a game-ending double play.
Daniel has been so steady whenever he plays third base, and right there had the perfect double play. Just got a little too quick. Comes over here, and everything was moving a little bit too quick, trying to make that play and throw it to third base. Matheny out to talk here over the strategy.
Matt Carpenter, Budweiser player of the game, 2-run homer in the 7th. At that time to give the Cardinals a 5-4 lead. Question now, will they hold on?
Carlos Pena's got pop in the bat. He could end it. Also a ground ball in the infield. 2 for 4 against Mojica. I'm sure that's when he was playing for Tampa Bay and Mojica was with the Marlins. Also, Dan, it doesn't help with the way things are going. He's going to be somewhere between 20 and 30 pitches more than likely this inning.
Ground ball right side. How about this time? Out there on the first. It's a double play. It's a sweep. It's a homestand sweep for St. Louis. 5-4 the final tonight.
Cardinals had second division teams come in on this homestand. They did what they had to do. They won all 5 games. They regained first place, and now you go to play the Cubs, and hopefully the winning streak will continue through the All-Star break.
4 more to go before the break. We're off to Chicago. The reaction of the Cardinals bench. Big win for St. Louis. They hold on.